Now on Fast Track News. Purdue is facing yet another record-breaking enrollment year. What does this mean for housing and parking?
Plus, the Purdue Memorial Union celebrates its 100th birthday with the opening of a time capsule from 1924. We'll show you what's inside.
And Purdue has now debuted its $52 million art exhibit. All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back. Happy Friday, Boilermakers. I'm Yumi Colombo.
And I'm Jimmy Sebeski. It's Friday, September 20th. Here's a look at your campus news for the week. First, Purdue is experiencing another record-setting year with the largest class ever. According to the university news release, there are more than 107,000 students system-wide and more than 50,000 on the West Lafayette campus. Reporter Becca Schumann spoke to some students about the challenges of having more people on campus.
It's the start of a new school year, and Purdue has made another giant leap, this time with the amount of students. This year, there is the largest number of students ever on campus. With this achievement comes challenges, such as housing and even simply the daily commute to class. I spoke with some students to get their opinion on this new challenge.
I am in several WhatsApp groups where people have been struggling to find the housing. It's not only struggling to find the housing, but also because there is a huge demand for housing, the prices of the housing has risen considerably.
With housing options filling up quickly, students are forced to secure housing for the following year by November at the latest. Students also face increasing rent costs that are becoming difficult to afford.
I was really worried about not being able to have housing or the housing I wanted. I was really fortunate because I know a lot of people that were forced off campus, and I was offered over the summer to move off campus too because I don't think they wanted us there anymore. But yeah, I think it's something I'm worried about for next year too.
So I am a PhD student, so I'm staying here since 2019. So in 2019, the housing was for a 3B where I was living, it was around $1,000. Now it's around $1,500. So you can see quite a increase in the housing prices.
If you're looking for housing next year, keep an eye out for emails from Purdue Housing. I'm Becca Schumann reporting for Fast Track News.
Now is the time to secure your housing for next year as options are filling up quickly.
If you have a long commute to class, make sure you allow yourself those extra minutes. You're going to need them.
Just as students have gotten adjusted to their new schedules, learned the buildings they're going to, and gotten the rhythm down, it is now time to start scheduling classes for the spring semester. An email was sent to all students earlier this week informing them about the upcoming schedule. Spring semester will begin on January 13th, but students have been asked to set up meetings with their advisors starting as early as next week. The official and final list for all classes will be posted on October 7th. Meeting with your advisor can help you ensure that you're on course to graduate, getting signed up for your correct classes, and answering any of your academic concerns. Open registration for any and all classes will go live on December 2nd, and even though it seems so far away, it will be here before we know it.
This weekend is the first weekend of fall, but it sure doesn't feel like it.
It's definitely not football weather yet, but how's the rest of your Friday shaping up? Meteorologist Alex Kirkove is here with your first look at the forecast.
Well, happy Friday, Boilermakers. If you were looking for a nice, cool, crisp day, it is not that day today with a high of 90 degrees and a low of 63. So if you want to open up your windows into the evening hours, that might be the time to do it, but definitely not during the afternoon hours. We do have a chance of rain today, 20% chance, but I will warn you that that chance is going to decrease as the day goes on since it is so hot out. When that rain does come in, it's not going to stay for long. Now, I do want to warn you guys about a burn ban that is not in effect in Tippecanoe County, but it is in effect in surrounding counties. So this has to do with the fact of soil conditions and the temperatures outside. So just fair warning, if you're planning on having a bonfire or something, maybe wait off until we get some rain that we are likely to see starting next week. Now, looking at my forecast points today, we do have a dry past 2 weeks. So we're going to cover when we will see rain next. Is this normal for mid-September? And also, we do have a chance of some cooler temperatures going into next week and just in time for Sunday, which is the first day of fall. I'll have more coming up in my full forecast.
This week, the Purdue Memorial Union celebrated its 100th anniversary. Several events took place over the past week, such as a concert featuring Jeremy Zucker, PMU Centennial Night on the Terrace, and the opening of a time capsule. The event titled Inside the Capsule took place on Tuesday in the Great Hall of the PMU. The event featured the opening of a time capsule from 1924 and the building of a 2024 time capsule to be opened in the next 100 years. Speakers at this event included President Mung Chiang and former Purdue President Martin Jischke. PMU Senior Director Zane Reif spoke to us about the new time capsule that is being placed.
I think with the new time capsule, we're really trying to there was an emphasis on putting more pictures. The old time capsule had a lot of documents and historical things, which was probably for the 1920s great. They didn't have a lot of cameras.
You could take a look at the 1924 time capsule and what's inside. It's on display in the Purdue Memorial Union. We're told the new time capsule has not yet been put in as there are still finalizations to be made.
A new art installation opened to the public on Wednesday this week. The artist of the new collection is French Impressionist Edgar Degas. The collection features 74 bronze sculptures. The exhibit was a gift to the College of Liberal Arts from alumnus Avram Gray. According to a news release from the College of Liberal Arts, the sculptures are valued at $21 million with a market value as high as $52 million. This makes the donation the largest one in history of the College of Liberal Arts. David Reingold, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, says the gift is, quote, transformational. Reingold says it elevates the permanent collection and the significance of the arts at Purdue in a big way. The Degas collection is now on display in the gallery on the second floor of the Purdue Memorial Union.
After days of uncertainty about whether students will be able to vote on campus early in this year's election, the university and the County Board of Elections have come up to propose a voting location, the COREC, but the plan needs to be approved by the board during the meeting next week. National Voter Registration Day happened September 17th on Tuesday. Several tables were set up on campus to explain what options students have. The deadline to register to vote in Indiana is October 7th. For some students, this could be the first election they are eligible to vote in. For more information on voter registration and voting locations, Boilers can visit the Kroc Leadership Center in room 336, which is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. With tens of thousands of students and staff on Purdue's campus and an election that comes around only once every 4 years, it is crucial that everyone is able to have a plan to exercise their civic duty.
Up next, Purdue is set to take its next giant leap all the way to Mars. Stick around to learn how students and faculty are preparing to take that next giant leap.
Purdue marketing has taken on a giant leap in the form of Purdue's first ever short film titled Boilers to Mars.
The film premiered September 12th and was followed by a panel discussion in Fowler. Fast Track reporter Jasmine Studebaker has the story.
Ready to change history. Boilers to Mars.
Outer space is one frontier Boilermakers are fairly familiar with, and it looks like the race to Mars is finally underway. I went to the short film premiere, Boilers to Mars, to learn firsthand how we were taking that first step.
We are the cradle of astronauts at Purdue, and we expect that when we do go to Mars, that a Boilermaker will be in the lead and leading that effort. So we decided to take that heroic vision and do it into a short film, Purdue's first ever short film, to hopefully inspire that story and future generations of space explorers. So
Purdue is no stranger to the U.S. space program, having had 27 Boilermakers go on to be astronauts, including famous alum Neil Armstrong, for which the Neil Armstrong Hall of Engineering building is hailed after. The short film was made with that thought in mind, basing the characters after real Purdue students and alum.
we wanted to show the full journey, and as you'll see in the film tonight, showing the characters and their kind of how they became interested, their path to Purdue, and then what that full journey looked like. We took a different approach than we have in other videos, and that we not only showed the characters as students, but we also then kind of fast forwarded and showed them as they progressed in their career, just to continue to reinforce like what those possibilities are as you go out to the world as a Boilermaker.
The film was supported by Space Kids Global, an organization dedicated to inspiring the next generation in space exploration. It's meant to highlight to viewers the possibilities one can acquire from a Purdue education.
A difference, and I hope that all of you believe in the reason you're here, and that you remember the moment you were accepted to Purdue, and that you're here to make giant leaps, because you will. This is the place to do it, and we all commend you for being here and taking those steps. Just, you know, keep up the great work and make us proud, because it's an amazing journey. This is the best time of your life.
Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Jasmine Studebaker.
You can watch the full 10-minute film by going to boilerstomars.com. With all this talk about space, I really want to know how our atmosphere here on Earth is going to be this coming week.
Let's check back with Alex on our full forecast for the week.
Coming up, we have chances of rain into this weekend and early into next week. Hopefully it'll bring some cooler temperatures as well. I'll have all of that coming up in my full forecast.
I was too busy. I'm sorry.
Well, happy Friday, Boilermakers. If you're just now tuning in with us, we are seeing a high today of 90 degrees and a low of 63. We do have a 20% chance of rain, but I will say that that chance is likely to fully clear out with how warm the temperatures are today. Before that rain even hits our area, it should dissipate out. Now, fall is near. Fall is starting this Sunday, September 22nd. It's here already, and I wanted to take a little poll of when we think the leaves will turn red, orange, or yellow. So log on to Fast Track News Instagram and take my poll if you think it's going to happen September 30th, October 5th, or October 20th. We'll be taking pictures and making sure to post those as well to see if your guys' predictions were correct. Now, looking at another issue today is a burn ban. So factors that lead into a burn ban could be soil conditions, our relative humidity, or the wind speeds. All can kind of form into a big conglomerate of why there is a burn ban in effect. Right now in Tippecanoe County there is not one, but in surrounding counties there are. So just be cautious of if you're having maybe a fall bonfire when those temperatures decrease in the evenings, that you're being precautious of that. Now looking at our weekend outlook, this is when our chance of rain does start to occur, is on Sunday, the first day of fall. But before that, we are looking at a high of 90 today and 91 tomorrow. And then unironically, it cools down just in time for fall, and we will start to see those fall temperatures. Now looking at our future cast, this is Saturday into Monday. This is our likeliest chance of rain. We kind of see this ridge right here, and it's following in front of a low pressure system. So this rain is going to sweep through here in Indiana. Again, we can see chances possibly today, very unlikely, if so spotty showers, but our best chance is on Saturday night into Sunday, and then an even better chance on Monday. Again, you can see that kind of sweep through here. We almost get a full washout, I would say, Sunday into Monday morning. Now, something to look out for. This is next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday, we do see this tropical storm turning into a hurricane that is going to occur. The outlook for that is it could suck up our moisture that we are seeing here at home. So again, it could turn into a drier end of our week next week when we're looking out for this storm down here. Now, something else that I wanted to cover is this a normal September? A lot of people are feeling this dry heat, very hot temperatures, not a lot of rain. So I went back to compare a little bit, rain totals and temperature. A lot of those take place in the month of September, or in our case, not a lot of it has taken place in the month of September. So we have our rain totals here. It actually starts to decrease in rain totals as we go from 2021 to 2024. The temperatures stay pretty consistent. This year we've averaged or had the highest temp a little bit higher than the previous years, but looking at that, this could be a reason for our dry temperatures this year. So looking at, is this a normal September? Temperature-wise, yes. Rain-wise, we're seeing a little bit less rain than we normally would. So again, something to look out for. We will be updating kind of those totals and looking at that after this weekend and into next week. But now I want to look at our 7-day outlook. Friday again today, we are seeing a high of 90, Saturday 91, and then as fall appears, so does those cooler temperatures. We can see again a chance on Monday, and then into next week, it will be partly sunny, sunny skies, and cooler temperatures.
Just ahead, Purdue football is looking to bounce back from a tough loss to Notre Dame Fighting Irish with a not-so-familiar opponent this weekend. And Purdue's women's soccer is getting their mojo back. I'm Alex Custer. Don't go away because sports is next. Purdue's football team took on Notre Dame this week in a rivalry matchup renewed. Covering the matchup is Fast Track Sports reporter Jimmy Sobeski.
Well, certainly a disappointing day here at Ross-Ade. Notre Dame defeating Purdue 66-7. The Irish rushing attack ran all over the Boilermakers, running for 362 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns as a team. Hudson Card not able to replicate that performance he had against Indiana State. The Boilermakers will take on Oregon State next week. Purdue welcomed Notre Dame into town following a bye week. The Boilermakers came into this game with a 1-0 record following a dominant 49-0 win over Indiana State in the season opener. The Fighting Irish are coming off of a disappointing upset loss to Northern Illinois. This loss dropped Notre Dame from 5th to 18th in the rankings. It was clear from the beginning of the game that Notre Dame was not going to come out flat 2 weeks in a row. Hopes were high for the Boilermakers, but the opening drive would prove to not be very fruitful, as Jeremiah Love would run 48 yards for a touchdown. After a trio of punts, the Irish would drive 82 yards for another score to make it a 14-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. The second quarter was even worse for the Boilermakers as they would give up a pair of rushing touchdowns to Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard, which would extend the Notre Dame lead to 28-0. Purdue had a chance to make something happen at the end of the first half, but Hudson Card would throw a pick six. After a Purdue punt, Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price would run 70 yards for another Irish touchdown. This would put Purdue in a 42-0 deficit going into the half. The third quarter saw Purdue's only score of the game as Hudson Card would find Denylon Morissette for Purdue's lone touchdown. The Irish would tack on 24 more points in the second half to bring the final score to 66-7. In the end, it was the Irish rushing attack that led the way for Notre Dame as they ran for 362 yards. With the future of this rivalry uncertain, Purdue may have to wait a while until the next clash with Notre Dame. In the meantime, they'll have to rebound quickly as they take to the road for the first time all season. Reporting from Fast Track Sports, I'm Jimmy Sobeski.
Certainly a rough one at Ross-Ade last weekend, but hopefully the Boilermakers can be ready with conference play coming up soon. Purdue has only played Oregon State twice in school history, the first time being in 1967 when the Boilers lost to the Beavers 14-22. The last time we played the Beavers was in 2021, beating them in a close game 30-21. The Boilers and Beavers both share a win and hope to get another with the upcoming non-conference game. Oregon State lost to a fellow Big Ten opponent last week as the Oregon Ducks and their well-decorated program beat them 49-14. Purdue has played one less game to Oregon State due to the bye week in week 2, and they are both looking to feel better with a win after a rough third week. Oregon State will be fighting for a win after losing to us only a few years ago. Purdue and Hudson Card look to continue their streak of passing after a tough time running the ball against Notre Dame last week. Hudson Card's first game against Indiana State University, he managed to tie the record for passing completion percentage. Purdue's defense is also hoping for a bounce back after allowing numerous rushing touchdowns against Notre Dame. Needless to say, the Boilers will be looking to dominate on Saturday. Almost 3 weeks ago now, the Boilers kicked off their football season with an explosive win against Indiana State. However, the matchup between the two Indiana colleges was not what received attention. Purdue student Zachary Spangler got the opportunity of a lifetime, 3 field goals to win big in the Kicks for Cash competition during the Indiana State game. However, he would soon come to find out getting his prize money is not as easy as he expected. Zach, a junior at Purdue, was interviewed by Journal and Courier and talked about his experience during the game and weeks following. Zach was on cloud 9 following his victory at the football game, but that would change when a few days later he received an email from the director of operations for Rohrman Honda, the company behind the competition. They had claimed that his last kick came 5/100ths of a second too late. After the story blew up on social media, Zach found himself receiving many different offers from companies around Lafayette, trying to step in and give Zach a prize that he deserves. After online outrage from fans and alumni alike, Warman Honda eventually reversed its decision and offered Zach a free 2-year lease on a new Honda Civic, or $5,000 in cash, of which he decided to take the $5,000. In addition to that, Rohrman Automotive Group is planning to donate $5,000 to the Ross Aid Brigade, a group Zach is part of. They also changed the rules for future Kicks for Cash competitions, eliminating the 30-second timer entirely. Purdue soccer defeated Northwestern at Evanston last Thursday by a score of 2-0 in their Big Ten season opener. The victory was a historic one as it marked the Boilermakers' first Big Ten win since October 31st in 2021. Purdue wasted no time in finding the opening goal, with sophomore Lauren Omholt finding the back of the net just 7 minutes into the game. From that moment on, the Wildcats and the Boilermakers traded shots late into the second half. Neither team could put one in until Kayla Budish scored with 4 minutes remaining to seal the win. After the match, the team celebrated the win by jumping into Lake Michigan in full uniform. The victory moved the Boilers to 5 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie on the season, which is their best start since 2021. Their next game is against UCLA on Sunday at 1 p.m. at Folk Field. Purdue volleyball continued their undefeated season last Saturday with a win over number 10 ranked Kentucky. After dropping the first set, the Boilermakers rallied to win 3 straight sets. Leading the way for Purdue was junior Ava Hudson, who had a season-high 20 kills along with 3 digs, 1 block, and an assist. Senior Raven Colvin also had 9 kills, 7 blocks, 5 digs, and 2 service aces in the win. Sophomore Taylor Anderson added 28 assists, 8 digs, 4 blocks, 2 kills, and a pair of service aces. The team's win streak marks the 4th 8-0 start for the Boilermakers under head coach Dave Shondell, and the first since 2018. Number 6 ranked Purdue continues their conquest this weekend with some good competition at the Jayhawk Classic. In 3 consecutive days, they played the number 10 Kansas, number 9 Creighton, and unranked Tulsa, who already has 2 top 25 wins on the season. This fall, Purdue unveiled a new $11 million dining facility for student athletes. It is located inside the former team store location outside Ross-Ade Stadium. Take a look. Purdue Athletics released these photos in late July showing the new digs. The facility was part of the $45 million Ross-Ade renovation announced back in 2022. The renovation included a new facade, both counter height and dining table seating, and serving stations. That's a wrap for sports, but stay tuned. Fast Track will be right back after this quick timeout.
You know, every time I pass the farmer's market on Memorial Mall, I think about how cool it would be to open a bobblehead booth. What about you, Yumi?
That is so cool. I would definitely sell snow cones. For our first question of the week, reporter Julia Blanford asked students what they would sell at the farmer's market.
Okay, so if you were to open any booth in the farmer's market, what would it be and why?
I would probably open like a baked good kind of thing just because I really like baking and I feel like it's always the vibe, even if it's sunny or like cold out. Yeah.
I would probably have either a coffee booth because I drink coffee every day, or I would have a booth from Food for My Country, which is Panama.
Zach's crypto startup because I am an unethical businessman.
I would open a kombucha booth because that's one of my favorite hobbies to do in the summer, and I would love to continue that here.
I'd probably open up like a clothing store thing. You know, I love thrifting new clothes like pants and shirts and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool to see.
And now, let's get one final check of your forecast from meteorologist Alex Kirkove.
All right, thank you, Yumi. So, guys, fall is near. It is this Sunday, September 22nd, is the first day of fall. And I want you to hop onto Instagram and go to Purdue Fast Track News and take the poll that I've posted here of when you think the leaves will change color. We've got September 30th, October 5th, and October 20th. And if you want to direct your attention towards this side of the screen of why leaves do turn those colors to kind of try and make your prediction, and go ahead and post that on there, but on the poll with Purdue Fast Track News. Now, looking at our 7-day outlook, again, we do have warm, hot temperatures rounding off this summer season, and then as we go into fall, the temperatures do start to cool down. We do have a chance of rain on Sunday and Monday, but after that occurs, it's going to be a little bit cooler temperatures just in time for that fall weather. And with that,
This is Fast Track News. We'll be back next Friday with more Purdue news, weather, and sports.
Thanks for watching and have a great weekend, Boilers.
Hola from Spain. G'day, mates. Buenos dias. Bonjour.
Hello from South Korea.
I'm studying abroad in Valencia, Spain this semester. I'm studying abroad in Sydney, Australia.
I'm studying abroad in Madrid, Spain.
I'm studying at Seoul National University.
At ISAE Supero in Toulouse, France.
And I'm really getting to enjoy meeting all the new people and the culture.
How different it is from Purdue University.
It is an absolutely fantastic experience.
I'm living my best life.
I can't wait to see you guys all overseas soon. A bientôt.
Adios.
Nos vemos en España.
If I could describe Boilers Go to DC in one word, I would say insightful. I've done a couple internships in DC, but this experience was different and opened my eyes into what other aspects of DC has to offer in networking and relationships as well.
If I could describe BGDC in one word, I would say eye-opening. I've been to DC a couple times before, but I have had nowhere close to an experience as immersive or as informative as the BGDC experience.
If you're interested in politics and you want to get into working in government, this is a good experience for you.
It was something I initially myself really wanted to do, but I know there were a lot of people that might be on more the fence about it. And I truly think BGDC was worth every penny, every time I did a reflection. Absolutely worth it.
If I can describe BGDC in one word, it's life-changing.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
We are energetic, we are motivating, and we are unique.
I don't think you can beat Quidditch.
Hola from Spain. G'day, mates.
Buenos dias.
Bonjour.
Hello from South Korea.
I'm studying abroad in Valencia, Spain this semester. I'm studying abroad in Sydney, Australia.
I'm studying abroad in Madrid, Spain.
I'm studying at Seoul National University.
At ISAE Supero in Toulouse, France.
And I'm really getting to enjoy meeting all the new people and the culture.
How different it is from Purdue University.
It is an absolutely fantastic experience.
I'm living my best life.
I can't wait to see you guys all overseas soon. A bientôt.
Adios.
Nos vemos en España.